Now let us know about the first human heart transplant surgeon in the world is Dr. Christian Neethling Barnard. He is three things about him, the three most important things. Number one, he is the first human heart transplant surgeon. Number two, he is a poor pastor's son. Number three, God transformed his life by showing to small boys life enjoyment, while they were in the suffering. Though they were in the suffering, they were crippled. They were like a horror pictures to the society. The two small boys enjoyed the life a lot. Though so many things possessed in the life of, so many privileges are in the life of Christian Barnard, though, Dr. Christian Barnard, he could not enjoy that much like the little children. He learned a very big lesson in his life. Let us see briefly about his biography. Yes, he was a poor pastor's son, and he was the first heart transplant surgeon in the world. This is the pic. He is the doctor. God transformed his life through a small lesson in a particular hospital by two small children. Yes. He achieved so many academic achievements. He came to this conclusion to become a heart surgeon because of his brother. His elder brother died as a kid or small child due to a heart problem. His father preserved a biscuit bit by his brother, a molded biscuit. And the biscuit was kept in a small box and showed to Barnard after a few years. Barnard saw that. He knew about his brother's death and heart problem, everything. That inspiration led him to become a heart surgeon. And he became a prolific and a famous heart surgeon in the world, and he was the first human heart transplanted surgeon. As he focused on congenital and complicated cardiac conditions for human to human heart transplant, for which there was no cure at that time. In those days, there was no sophisticated treatment or medicine for human problems. But Barnard solved so many problems for the heart problems. And he performed the world's first, especially very important point, he performed the world's first human to human heart transplant in the year 1967. The greatest achievement of a pastor's son, who transformed his life even after. He gained worldwide recognition and went on to develop many surgery techniques. Yes, he himself invented many surgery techniques and he introduced it to the medical field. And Barnard has penned 14 books and 235 scientific articles. He was a good literarian. Either. Even literature, either. And the famous three books in his life were, number one, One Life. That means we have one and only life to enjoy. One life. And afterwards, 50 Ways to a Healthy Heart. Number three, and the best book among all his writings is The Best Medicine and the Faith. The two books, The Best Medicine and the Faith also. Altogether are 4 books. Okay? Number one is One Life. Next is 50 Ways to Healthy Heart. 3 is The Best Medicine. And the 4th one is The Faith. A pioneer in cardiac surgery. He obtained a doctorate in medicine from the University of Cape Town. Yes. University of Cape Town allotted him a doctorate in medical achievements. In his late years, he established so many other countries gave him honorary doctorates, around 11 honorary doctorates. And after he established the Christian Barnard Foundation to serve and promote the cause of underprivileged or poor children throughout the world and he died at the age of 78. Yes, he died at the age of 78. We all know that Dr. Christian Barnard was the first doctor to perform the heart transplant surgery. Here we have an extract of his speech. This following lesson is an extract from his speech. You may feel it as a Sunday school lesson or intermediate lesson for students or a lesson to us even. More and more, as I near the end of my career as a heart surgeon, my thoughts have turned the consideration of why people should suffer. He used to think, because he met with an accident along with his wife, he started thinking, why should the people suffer like this? Even children are suffering alone in hospitals, ICUs and beds in night time. Is it honorable? Is it necessary? Why does God allow such things? He started thinking in that way. Suddenly, actually he met with an accident. His lungs perforated. 11 ribs got broken. His wife got broken her shoulder. These things took place. At the time, he remembered one thing about his father. If my father is alive, or had he still been alive, he would have said like that. He thought of that. He would have said like that. My son, it is God's will. Yes, that is the way God tests you. My son, it is God's will. That is the way God tests you. And the suffering enables you, makes you a better person. Yes, his father used to say in that way. If he is alive, he would have said in that way. He thought of that. Dr. Christian Barnard thought of that. Okay. But as a doctor, I see nothing noble in patients thrashing around in a sweat-soaked bed. Yes, there is a sweat and soaking bed and weeping and agony, falling on bed alone. How it would be, or how it can be, how it will be, how it is a noble thing. He couldn't understand. But one thing happened. One morning several years ago, I witnessed what I call the Grand Prix of Cape Town's Red Cross Hospital. In that hospital, Cape Town area, Grand Prix of Cape Town's Red Cross Children's Hospital, he saw an incident. 2 children suffered with severe problems, was enjoying their life and pushing a food trolley because of the nurse absence. They were enjoying in front of Dr. Barnard. One boy has no eyes. The entire face was burnt almost because of his parents' struggle. A father threw a lantern. You can see here. The mechanic was all of 7 years old. One night, when his mother and father were drunk, his mother threw a lantern and his father missed, and the lantern broke over the child's head and shoulder. He suffered severe 3rd-degree burns on the upper part of his body and lost both his eyes. The boy lost his eyes. At that time, the Grand Prix, he was a walking horror. The boy is almost tall, disfigured. He was like a horror figure. Nobody could see him properly. Such kind of thing was there. This boy and another boy was there. The trolley driver I knew better. A few years earlier, I had successfully closed a hole on his heart. The boy's heart soul was healed or treated by Dr. Barnard just before a few years earlier. That was little hope. There was a little hope of his recovery. There is no hope for his recovery either. From that situation, the 2 boys were enjoying, and in the absence of that nurse, they were pushing trolley and driving and distributing morning food or breakfast plates. Suddenly, I realized, by seeing that incident, Dr. Christian Neethling Barnard came to a realization. What was the realization? Yes, he was taught a profound lesson by the 2 boys. What is the lesson? Because the business of living is joy in the real sense of the word. Yes, having life is a great celebration in the world. Why should we bother for other things and other things? That we haven't had that thing, that we haven't had this thing. We are always thinking, but God has given a life to enjoy a lot. Not just something for pleasure, amusement, recreation. Not just something, but the business of living is the celebration of being alive. Our work we have to do is celebrating our life. Having breath in our nostrils is a great thing in this world. I had been looking at suffering from the wrong end. Then he could understand, this is the plan of God. I shouldn't misunderstand God's plan. Yes, I understood it in the wrong way. You don't become a better person because you are suffering, but you become a better person because you have experienced suffering. Not only suffering, but experiencing suffering, learning some lessons through that becomes or make you a better person, noble person. Yes. Nor can we appreciate warmth if we have never suffered cold. We cannot appreciate light if we haven't known darkness. Without knowing darkness, even one time, how can you know the value of light? And nor can we appreciate warmth without knowing suffering, without knowing suffering from cold, without knowing any cold, without experiencing any coldness in the world. How do you know the value of the warmth or heat? Yes, these children showed me that it is not what we have lost that is important. Yes, it is very important thing. We are always bothered about what we have lost, remembering what we have lost. But what is important is what you have left, or what is being left in your life. What has been left in your life by God is more valuable rather than what you have lost already in your life. That should be understood. God bless you by understanding it that way. Take care of and follow our channel and subscribe, share and like. God bless you.